over the years, Toyota have been accused of being just too conservative for their own good. Well, that is no longer the case. On this edition of Test Drive, the latest CHR. The CHR was originally designed as a part of the then Scion brand. It died, so Toyota inherited a crossover that broke its conservative mould. You get the sense it was aimed at the young, or at least the young at heart. When you see it parked, it sure does not blend in with any crowd. And while it has the outward dimensions of a compact car, it has the right height and utility demanded of a modern crossover. This year it gets a new front end that's now more in line with the rest of Toyota's product. Now, the cabin of this CHR has been finished off very nicely indeed. You've got all the safety assistance that you need, beautiful materials, these wonderful leather-covered seats, and of course, the all-important infotainment system. At last, it now works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, did I say at long last? Because I should have done. The CHR arrives with one engine, a 2-litre 4-cylinder that pushes 144 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque. It is a quiet and civilised mill that drives the front wheels through a continuously variable transmission. It has different driving modes, including sport. It sees the box mimic a 7-speed sequential gearbox, although there are no paddle shifters. A big part of the strategy is sport holds the engine at higher RPM, which is supposed to help acceleration. Now, the lack of an all-wheel drive option really does hurt this CHR, as does the acceleration. This thing, because of the CVT and modest horsepower, takes a good 10 seconds to get to 100k. Now, the good news in all of this is the fuel economy. We got a test average of 8.1 litres per 100 kilometres, which is better than I expected. Riding on Toyota's TNGA architecture, the CHR is plenty stiff and not easily upset by road imperfections. This gives it the sort of poise one expects of a European-inspired ride. The suspension features McPherson struts up front and a multi-link setup in the back. The combination delivers good ride comfort while keeping things on the straight and narrow when the CHR is pushed. Now, there is surprising backseat room, enough in fact for a 6-footer. Likewise, when you get back here, again, decent cargo capacity, 541 litres with the seats up and 1,031 litres if you fold them flat. Now, all of this busyness does eat into the overall utility, but it still gets a passing grade. Part of the reason for the CHR's poise is the 225/50 R18 tyres. They deliver plenty of lateral grip, so when it was pushed through the pylons, the turn-in response was both quick and precise. It also proved to be less inclined to slip into understeer than some of its more mainstream rivals. To keep things entertaining, it's possible to get the CHR to rotate by lifting off the gas slightly after dialing in some steering. In the end, it's a blend that sees the CHR equally well suited to an urban environment as it is a twisty road. Now, if you want something that draws attention to you, you enjoy a luxury cabin, and you like a sporty drive, this CHR is probably up your alley. If it had another 50 horsepower, well, it would be a real gem.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers, but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.